So we have a Jeep Compass. Let's get in a backup camera. Let's get in a new radio. I think we're gonna talk some more about cameras. Cool, let's get started. Let's take a look at all the fun stuff that we have. We have the camera harness. We have a BAA22 antenna adapter. We have the Metra 956511. We have the Sony XAV AX100, a little different radio. And we got this guy, the RP4 CH11. Let's open this up first. Now, of course, you have the steering wheel control harness. Plug that in there so we don't lose it. But what's unique about this kit is these two things right here. It comes with two harnesses. It comes with the old harness and the not so old harness. There is a new harness that's newer than both of these, but that changes the whole software in the car. These were both using the same software. They just had different harnesses. So in the kit is both of these. The other thing too is they both have these guys. So this harness has the relay. So this has a 30 amp output. So we can hook up the camera safely to this. Now what we want to do now is before we start wiring one of these up, so we need to go into the car and actually pull the radio so we can see which one of these harnesses they're actually using. So now that we have the radio out of the dash, we can go ahead and compare our harnesses. Now, this one has a taper right here on either side. This one is perfectly square. This one, on the other hand, has that same taper. This is the harness we need. This one is not. Now, with this extra harness, like I said, it has this cool relay on it. So don't throw this away. Save it for this cool relay. So now that we know what harness we're gonna be using in this car, what we wanna do is take it over to the car, see if it is a 4 or an 8 speaker wire, whether it has the premium sound system with the amplifier or it doesn't. This one is an 8, meaning there are all 8 speaker wires in the car, and also the blue amplified antenna, it has a trigger for that as well. So we're gonna use all the speaker wires on this. We don't have to do any repinning. We want to check the wiring. And what we have here is, like the example, red, white is parking brake, purple, white is vehicle speed sense. Well, wait a minute, is the purple, white supposed to be reverse? Not on these harnesses. So for this one, the green wire is the reverse trigger. Now that can be a problem only because this green wire here is the exact same color as this green wire here. So the left rear speaker positive is the same color as the reverse trigger. So if you go ahead and tape these up like we do and don't mark which one is the reverse, you may run into issues where you're gonna have to continuity test between your wire and the plug here to find out. And when we get to that point, we'll actually go ahead and do it just so we can show you guys how it's done in case you make the mistake that we often make, because we just start taping up and then we're like, oh yeah, damn it. The other thing we want to do is turn to page 3, and we want to go ahead and set our steering wheel controls for Sony, which according to this, Sony is number 8. Let's take a look at this guy. Comes with a 5-foot USB extension. Comes with a remote control. Let me put that back in the box. Comes with the CarPlay Android Auto microphone. It comes with this little guy here, this little piece of Velcro. That's to attach the USBs together so that they don't slide apart. And then we have the harness itself. Now we don't talk about Sonys all that often because we don't do quite as many as we do Pioneers and Kenwoods, but they use the standard color configuration. So you have white, gray, green, purple are your speaker wires. You have a blue-white remote turn on. You have an orange-white dimmer wire. You have the red accessory, black ground, yellow constant 12 volts, and the purple-white, they come with this cool little flag that tells you it's reverse. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that off because we are gonna hook it up. And of course, the light green wire is the emergency brake wire. The radio itself, if you've never seen one of these, has the L-shaped chassis design that seems to be all the rage right now in these units that don't have the transports in them. The difference is unlike the other guy, Alpine that is, Alpine actually builds their units like this, where the screen on the top is the top of the radio, this is the bottom of the radio. Sony does it the right way. This is the top of the radio, this is the bottom of the radio. And you ask, well, why is that the right way? Well, most kits are designed to mount from the top and not the bottom. Most times you install a radio, you do 3 screws, 2 on top, 1 on bottom. With this kit, you can get the 2 on top, which is the essential 2 screws. With the Alpine, you can get 1, and then you have to drill out or drill a hole for the second one so you can have at least 2 mount. This is a much nicer as far as not having to customize the kit, this guy right here. Now, since we're talking about the kit and how it looks, let's go ahead and take a look at our kit and see what we have to do to it. And as usual, it looks like crap. Let's start grinding on this thing and make it look good. Alright, so there we go. Fits in the dash, it's all good. Now you might be asking, if we hate these things, this particular, why do we use these? Well, it's a matter of the lesser of two evils. They all suck. It's just this one sucks less, and we can make it look better, easier. I'm gonna go ahead and get all the non-reverse camera wires hooked up so that we can just concentrate on those wires.
Yes, we're here in the back of the car again because we're doing another backup camera. Let's get started.
What do you got, Fernando?
Well, Houston, we have a problem.
Why is that?
Well, he have the latch right here.
Ooh, yeah.
You see?
Yep.
So if we put the camera, he or she is not gonna able to
Gotcha.
open it. So what we need to do is flip it. Of course, we have to flip the actually camera.
Yep.
So she can have access, so he can have access to that.
And then we'll add 2 rivets down here so that we can screw the bottom in.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Cool?
Cool.
Not really. To flip the camera, we're going to take 6 screws. Now we can flip the camera. But if you see, this side is the problem. We're gonna go and cut it. Now we're gonna cut this corner here. And there you go. We have the camera on the bottom.
Have the camera mounted down low, we went ahead and put in the 2 rivets to hold this thing in place. So as you can see, you know, it's not going to be flopping around or doing anything like that. They still can get to the handle perfectly. Good job, Fernando. So we have our harness pretty much to the point to where it needs to be in order to connect our reverse harness to it. What we want to do first is check that green wire. And to do that, you want to have your voltmeter. You want to put it on continuity test. It's one that makes this noise here. And then you just want to come over into the harness here and grab the green wire, put 1 probe on it, and then the other probe, you want to probe the 2 green wires. So you have this guy here, doesn't make any continuity. You grab this guy here, makes continuity. The same is true if you were to come over to this side of the plug and just put it in right there. Come over, test here, nothing. Come over, test here, something. So that's how you would test that. Because we know that, now we can take this green wire and connect it to our purple white wire. And that guy is all set and good to go. Now what we have left over is our ground and our accessory, which match up to this ground and this accessory. So we'll go ahead and add in our ground wire here, and then we'll twist it into the plug side. And then we'll repeat the process for our red wire. Okay, so we have this all set and ready to go now. The one thing that we talked about earlier was this has the blue wire, which is the amplified antenna turn on. What we've gone ahead and done is down here in the harness, we went ahead and tied it in with the red wire. I like to kind of space out all my connections. I don't like having big bundles of wire all in one spot. It's connected down here to the accessory red wire. Now we're gonna go ahead and finish taping this guy up, making it look nice and pretty. Also, one more thing, the Sony uses the 1/8" headphone jack style steering wheel control interface, not the blue yellow like the Kenwood and the JVC. So you can cut it off, cap it, do whatever you like. Go ahead and get it plugged in. And there again, the sticker here is telling you make sure you set your steering wheel controls. We've done that, so we're gonna go ahead and remove it, get it plugged into here, and now our harness is all set and ready to go into the car. So Fernando just told me we're gonna put in this USB DMA1 USB adapter in the center console below the gear shifter. Let's go take a look. And we just got the USB mounted down here in this little guy right here. So they'll be able to just plug their phone in for CarPlay or Android Auto right there. So on the back of the Sony, it has 6 outputs. One of them is a mono sub, the black. The yellow is the backup camera, it just plugs in there. And then it has a red here for the mic and a blue over here for the steering wheel controls. Now the mic and the steering wheel controls use the same size, so they'll plug into one another, so be careful. Now we want to check the steering wheel controls and probably reprogram them. Because most of the time on these older models, the VR feature is actually mute. What's the weather like today?
It's currently cloudy and 87 degrees in Clearwater.
Call Fernando Lopez.
Calling Fernando Lopez.
I got nothing. Go ahead and give this a try and reprogram it. Volume up. Volume down. Mute. Reset. Source. Track up. Track down. And. Answer. Of course, the kit came out looking really nice. So it sits really nice in the dash. So again, it's not the best kit, but it's the kit that looks the nicest once we're done with it. So we're done with this one.
What's the next one?